Hello? Hello?
Hi, good morning, everyone. This is Steve Percy from Sprint Network. So welcome to our Sprint Network secure remote working solution powered by Fortinet. It's another Friday, and just like every other Friday, I'm today joined by Kay Kang, who's the Technical Operations Manager at Sprint Network. So today I'll be doing a little bit of intro, and then Kay will actually be demoing the solution itself. So I'm very much looking forward to Kate's demo, and I assume all of you are looking forward to the entire webinar as well. So without any further ado, let's get started. So just a few housekeeping rules. So we'll have a Q&A session at the end. So if you've got any questions, please pop it into the chat window from where we'll pick them up, and we'll try and answer as many questions as we can. So to find out more about our products and services, you can always visit our website, sprintnetworks.com.au. And one final request that we have for all of you is to basically go social with the hashtag #SNRemote. So for us, at the end of the day, it's all about creating awareness about great products and great services. Why do we want to do that? Well, we want to create awareness about great products and services because at the end of the day, all companies, irrespective of how big or small they are, get the benefit from these great products and services. So let's get started then. So what exactly is endpoint security? Well, endpoint security is the practice of securing endpoints or entry points of end-user devices, such as desktops, laptops, and mobile devices from being exploited by malicious actors and campaigns. There was a recent study that was conducted, if I clearly remember, I think it was a couple of months back. So the study concluded that endpoints are frequently the target of initial compromise or attack. And in the study, they also found that 30% of all breaches involved malware being installed on endpoints. So that is something that's really scary. Now, so we have already looked at what endpoint security is. Now let's look at the challenges that plague remote working in today's world. So when I think of the challenges, three challenges come to my mind straight away. One is the lack of proper endpoint security. The second one is the lack of a proper management tool. And the third one is the lack of secure access to your HQ or data center. Well, let's start with the one in the middle, which is the lack of a proper management tool. So let's just assume your IT department wants to manage multiple users and also monitor the entire network. Well, how can they assign security profiles if you haven't got a proper management tool? So that is actually a very, very big challenge. Now, moving away, let's move on to the second one, which is the lack of endpoint security. So why is endpoint security so important? Well, it's always the target of cyber breaches and cyber attacks, and these breaches and attacks can cost companies millions and millions of dollars every year. So that's why it's very important to have proper endpoint security for your entire network. Now let's talk about the third challenge, which is the lack of secure access to your HQ or data center. Why is this so important? Well, let's come to that. So if you haven't got secure access to your HQ or data center, then your network could be in the middle of cyber breaches, cyber attacks, and hackers could easily penetrate your network and compromise the entire network infrastructure. So how do we here at Sprint Network tackle these three challenges? Well, that's where our solution comes in. So this is what our solution looks like. So if you remember the three challenges that I just mentioned, we tackle all of them with our solution. So whether it's endpoint security or a proper management tool or secure access to your HQ, everything gets resolved with our Sprint Network solution. So let's talk about endpoint security. So how does the Fortinet solution tackle the problem of lack of endpoint security? Well, FortiClient strengthens endpoint security through integrated visibility, control, and proactive defense. With the ability to discover, monitor, and assess endpoint risks, you can ensure endpoint compliance, mitigate risks, and reduce exposure. Apart from that, FortiClient proactively defends against advanced attacks. Its tight integration into the security fabric enables policy-based automation to contain threats and control outbreaks. So let's talk about the second challenge, which is the lack of a proper management tool. So how does our solution solve this? Well, what you see on your screen here is actually the FortiClient EMS. So this is exactly what you need to keep an eye on your network. So FortiClient EMS enables scalable and centralized management of multiple endpoint devices. It can be used in a security fabric to provide visibility across the network, and can also be used to securely share information and assign security profiles to endpoints. Now let's come to the third challenge, which plagues remote working in today's world, which is the lack of secure access to your HQ or data center. So we here at Sprint Networks have got a solution for that as well. So when it comes to solving this problem, Fortinet's solution secures access to your HQ or data centers through secure IPsec tunnels, or it can also use SSL VPN protocol. So what this does is that it secures the traffic between the user, which is sitting over here, and the HQ, which is over there, and prevents man-in-the-middle attacks and zero-day attacks. So to put everything in a nutshell, this solution gives you proper management, which is using the FortiClient EMS. It protects the traffic between your users and your HQ, whether it's one user or 10 users or 100 users, everyone gets secure access to the HQ. And apart from that, this also creates an interface that is very easy to use and which is easily manageable to your IT department. So with that, I can clearly say that I can confidently say that this is the solution that all businesses should be looking at. And the FortiClient solution is also NSS Lab certified. It is antivirus certified as well, and it's got a whole ton of other certifications as well. So with that, I come to the end of my intro. So now let me bring in my friend Kay Kang for the actual demo itself. So Kay, it's over to you.
Thank you, Steve. All right. Okay. Hello everyone. I'm Kay from Sprint Networks. Welcome to our Friday weekly lab webinar. Firstly, I'd like to talk about the situations that we are facing from the pandemic, the crisis. So as we know, the huge number of employees around the world are being required highly to work remotely, intendedly or unintendedly for the current pandemic. Employees access to corporate resources through the internet access from home or cafe or even from public transport. Many companies guide employees to use just a VPN type connection to access to their corporate resources. They are less concerned about endpoint security. Actually, some companies might provide remote workers commercial type antivirus program like a McAfee or Symantec and so forth in order to protect workers' PCs. There are no proper ways to apply the company's security policies to end user PC with centralized management. Companies can't track how end users are applying security rules or features on their end user PCs, or even whether end users are protected properly or not from cyber attacks. End user PCs could be compromised from many different kinds of threats coming from the internet, like a virus, malware, or malicious websites. In consequence, personal or business data stored on end user PCs could be lost or damaged or stolen. Or data could be leaked or used for any cyber crimes. Sprint Networks provides optimal secure remote working solution using Fortinet FortiClient platform. Fortinet FortiClient helps protecting end users using not only VPN connections for securing data transferring, but also various advanced end user security features such as malware protections, application firewall, web filtering, vulnerability scan, and so forth, powered by 40 client. All endpoints are managed and employed by centralized management tool, 40 client EMS. UEC 40 client can help how 40 client can help the remote workers connecting to the corporate network securely and protect end users from cyber threat by walking through live demo this time. Let me firstly show you 40 client EMS main dashboard. So this is the main dashboard of 40 client EMS where you are, okay, I think the screen sharing paused. Let me share the screen. I hope you can see the screen. Sorry about that. So this is the main dashboard of 40 client EMS where your IT department can manage corporate end users centrally. So here we see that the status, endpoint management, and the window operating system. So we here is a one end user PCs onboarded with 40 client EMS on our demo lab. It shows the status from the screen. You can see. Let's move back to the main menu. So here under the endpoint and under the group menu, you can do grouping end users using endpoint menus, and you see one window PC is onboarded on test group that I created. So from this menu, you can do many things, many functions. Let me click this one. So you can see here is you can see the summary of the end user PCs, and from the action, you can download available 40 client logs, and you can also check the various event log. For example, antivirus event, you can see the history of log. So we see the message: this PC tried to download this file. and then the web filter event also is it shows the blocking the history. So here, one of the messages this PC tried to connecting to the Facebook website as a social network categories is blocked by the web filtering policies. Can also see system event as well. So from this menu, so you can check, and or sometimes you can check the status of the end user PCs centrally. Also, you can make any actions, for example, antivirus scanning or vulnerability scan, and so forth. Let's move on to the next menu. So policy menu. On the policy menu, you can create. So let me check one. So you can create and manage endpoint policies to assign profiles that you create, or telemetry gateway list and the work groups. So from policy menu, you can combine the endpoint profiles that you created from profile menu. But using policy menu, support the client end users. We belong to the policies, and that we apply the policy apply the functions from the policies. Let's move to the endpoint profile and the test profile that I created. From the profile menu, so you can configure and manage all setups or parameters about 40 client from endpoint profile menus. So once you created the profiles, you can combine with your endpoint policies. So as you can see here, we back to the group menu. You can see that the policy that I created is the link to this end user PCs. So this end user PC will be applied all profiles that you created by using these policies. Let's move back to end user PC. Okay, this is the end user PCs that managed from 40 client. So this is the 40 client console. So here I think need to access. It's not connected yet. 40 client. I think it's after Windows update. This PC is reset 40 client access. Need to type in the EMS IP and client joint cloud. So we have another PCs here. So I can go through the rest of the session with this PC to save time. So this is a 40 client console, the dashboard main screen on the end user PCs. So firstly, 40 client malware protection contains antivirus, anti-exploit, cloud-based malware detection, and the removable media access scan. Firstly, antivirus protection features detect infected files real time and the quarantines if the file is malicious or is infected. You can also run virus scan from 40 client EMS centrally or on the 40 client console locally. So if you want to run the virus scan, that you can just straight execute by clicking scan now menu. And Next, the cloud-based malware protection feature helps protect endpoints from high-risk file types from external sources, such as the internet or network drives, by querying FortiGuard to determine whether files are malicious. Anti-exploit protects your endpoint against advanced threats, including zero-day attacks, which target application vulnerabilities that have yet to be discovered or patched. Lastly, FortiClient also controlled access to removable media devices, such as USB drives. FortiClient can allow, block, or monitor access to the removable media devices. Let's move on to web filter menu. Web filter allows you to block or allow warn and monitor web traffic based on URL categories or custom URL filters. The URL categorized is handled by FortiGuard distribution network. From application firewalls, you can set up the firewall rules based on applications. So this firewall policies is applied from the FortiClient EMS centrally. From remote access, so now you see that we can't see any. It's supposed to show any credential page. So it's not showing because it's not synchronized yet with the FortiClient EMS. So from remote access menus, you can access IPsec or SSL VPN to FortiGate that is where the place where your device is sitting in your DC data center. Today's the Windows update the issue. Actually, I'm going to I was supposed to show some demos, but from this problem is I just covered some menu today. I hope it's you can show the demo is the next demo the webinar. So in this I'd like to say this sorry again about this inconvenience and. We will have now is the Q&A times. So please ask us some questions on the chat windows. If you have any question about this solution, now I hand over the session to Steve. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Kay. That was absolutely brilliant, Kay. So let me just bring back my screen. Okay, so with that, we come to the end of our webinar this week. So if you've got any questions, feel free to put them in the chat window right now from where we'll pick it up, and we'll try and answer as many questions as we can. Oh, so we've already got a question from one of our attendees, and the question is whether this solution is an expensive solution or is it an affordable one? Well, the answer to that question is that this solution is a very, very affordable solution. So it doesn't matter what type of company you're running, whether it's a large or a small or a medium-sized enterprise, because this solution will fit each and every business and it will not burn a hole in your bank. And that is one of the greatest advantages of our solution powered by Fortinet. So if you want to find out more about this solution and how much it's going to cost you to implement for your business, then you can always reach out to us at info@sprintnetworks.com, which is our email address. And if you want to find out more about our other products and services, you can always visit our website, which is sprintnetworks.com.au. So please do note down the email address, which is info@sprintnetworks.com. Any for anything and everything, just reach out to us. We're always there to help you with in whichever way we can. So going back to our Q&A, it doesn't look like we have got any more questions. So I think we'll call it a day today. So thanks everyone for joining in. Kay and I will be back next Friday at 10 a.m. with the same webinar. So till then, take care and goodbye.